True.
Disappointed?
Yeah, good job getting back at that.
Hey, Pete, what stood out to you after you got to watch the film? I know there were several questions you just couldn't answer, not because you were evading them, but because you hadn't seen the film.
Yeah, I thought we did a good job at the running game. I thought we were physical. Thought we were coming off the rock there. I thought the running backs ran hard. I thought the effort throughout the game on all three phases was good. And then, the negatives, as we talked about, pre-snap, penalties there, hurting ourselves on drives where, we're either getting in field goal range or we're down in the red zone, close to the goal line, and then obviously turnovers.
Following up on that, when they were one of the worst defenses in the NFL against the run, you guys were having some success, some struggles in passing, and you guys threw 44 times and ran 29. I'm curious, is the identity shifting a little bit on the offense because of injury? What's happening on the offense, AP?
Well, the identity's not there. I mean, we want to be physical. We want to run the football. That's not anything that I've ever hit or not spoke of. I do think as the game goes on and we get it down, I think just in human nature, you toss the ball around a little bit more and maybe you lose the flow of the game. But when you look at it early on, when the game was close and really competitive, we were having our way, even other times with the reverse with Trey Tucker to get down there inside the red zone. So obviously it's something we need to look at. And I think when you look at teams that's having success right now, just being consistent and staying the course, regardless of the outcome. I think a lot of teams, when you look at them and how they're able to sustain success, is that of being the same team throughout, regardless of the score. And obviously it does change when you're down by 10 or more.
What's the situation with Aiden?
I don't have an update yet.
Well, penalties and turnovers is something that has been rinse and repeat the last 3 weeks, but it's been a focus that you wanted to make sure did not happen.
Right.
How surprised are you that on your watch this is happening consistently, I should say?
Yeah, the penalties, especially pre-snap, I always worry about everything that happens before and after the play. In between the play, that's football. You got to work on technique, get better in that sense. The turnovers, that's it's being careful with the football. That's either throwing interceptions. We've had 10 in the last 3 weeks. 7 interceptions and 3 fumbles, right? We talk about ball security. We do them in every drill to start practice. And then obviously at the quarterback play, we got to make the better decisions.
Looked like Luke moved yesterday. I guess
Yeah,
what went in that decision, and how did you think it worked out?
I thought it was better, and it was my decision.
You gonna stay with it?
Yes.
Have you guys talked about bringing in another quarterback, you and Tom?
Well, once we know what's going on with Aiden, I'm sure we're going to have to look at all our options.
Who would have been the backup for Gardner yesterday if he got hurt?
It would have been McAllister. Normally it's Jacoby Myers, but he was out.
Has he worked at all in practice? McAllister
Yeah,
taken?
practice squad. I mean, that's different when you're giving a look team. Then I don't think we're going to be throwing the ball. I can tell you that much. If we went to a third-string quarterback, you already know what's going to happen there.
Was he Lamar a couple weeks ago?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did you like what you said?
Hey, he can run the rock. We know what he can do when he has the ball in his hand. I don't know if we're going to toss it with him. But again, that didn't happen. But that was our emergency quarterback.
And obviously you do have Carter on the roster. I guess what have you seen from him? How confident are you if he has to play at some point?
Yeah, again, I'm going to go back to what I said. Probably just have to look at all the options, what's out there, see what's going on with Aiden once we get the medical reports back.
AP, when a team's losing, how do you keep them from getting numb to the process and staying hungry and keep working?
Well, you can't get comfortable with losing. That's first and foremost. And just like these guys are in today, they're out there working out and doing everything they need to do to get themselves ready to play. We got another big game this week. Again, we get paid to play 17 weeks, right? So I don't think we went to the season thinking we would win every game. Didn't expect to lose 3, but that's where we're at now. And at the end of the day, all we can do is worry about now the Kansas City Chiefs, who we know very well. They're coming in here. It's a divisional game. And to answer your question directly is you just got to move on. It's the nature of the beast, right? We got to do better. We got to stop beating ourselves with turnovers, with penalties. When opportunities are there, we have to make them. We're not doing that right now as well. And it's nothing that we like. I'm sure Raider Nation doesn't like. And we got to keep getting better and go to work, just like a lot of teams in the National Football League. We got to get better. And we can't use no excuse for injuries or this or that or quarterback. OC, head coach, it don't matter. We're all involved in this as an organization, as a staff and players, and we got to stick together. Don't really get into the outside noise and let everybody pick us apart. That's what the whole offseason is about, because I do at some point we'll get into this dark moment, and it's a dark moment for us right now, and we got to get out.
With that being said, how tough has this been with the expectations you had going into the season into where it's at right now?
Yeah, I'll be honest, I didn't expect to be 2-5, like to see that flipped. But at the end of the day, you got to live in reality, and that's what we're dealing with. Again, like I said, a lot of the leagues dealing with the same stuff, man. Injuries, turnovers, just being inconsistent. All of us can get better, myself included. And I think as we keep going through this, there's still a lot of football left. The season's not over. We're not tanking. We're not trying to lose games to do anything better for the future. Hell, we're trying to be the best team we can. And right now, we're not a good team.
Nate Hobbs had a big fourth down stop, and then obviously the interception yesterday. What did you see out of him in his performance?
It was good. I thought Nate did a good job, just overall, just his run fits, coverage. He's been pretty consistent. It was good to see him show up in critical moments like that. And then that interception was huge. I wish he could have got in the end zone there, but obviously he put our offense in position to score. And I think Nate, each and every week what we see from Nate is somebody who's just getting better and better, obviously much better when he's inside for us because of his physicality.
You said you don't want the team to get comfortable with losing. Did you like their demeanor after the game on the flight home this morning, everything?
What demeanor? Everybody's pissed off. But I like their demeanor today. We're working. Everybody's in here to work. Nobody's missing work today. So that's really good just to see our guys be consistent and steady. Like I told them, at the end of the day, we all signed up for this game, man. It's tough. It's hard. It's not easy to win the National Football League. It's easy to get poked at like we are now, myself now, when you lose. But we can't worry about that. We can't flinch. We can't blink. We just got to go to work. We got to go to work. That's all I know how to do is work. Get better each and every day and find a way to get better. Right now, we're not a good football team.
Yesterday, you praised Brock Bowers for what he was able to do, but a comment you kind of made, you said, it can't all just be the Brock Bowers show. That being said, how much of an asserted effort do you think you and the rest of the offense are going to be putting into making sure that it's as evenly distributed as possible moving forward?
Well, I don't think there's an issue with being distributed. It's, you got to get the ball there, and we got to get open. We got to get off of DBs, and got to find a way to get open. We got to protect. Everything goes into it. It's not on the quarterback, it's not on the OC and the head coach. All 11, everybody involved in the game plan, got to do their part throughout, and then you got to execute. There was opportunities there to get Trey Tucker getting the ball down the field. Didn't happen, right? So just keep going back to it, man. Keep going and keep calling it, drawing it up, and hopefully we can let that ball rip and get it down the field. So, I think what really helped with Brock and our offense is just that get the running game going and being consistent for 4 quarters.
Hey, you mentioned ignoring noise, and for all of us that cover you every day, we know you, your coaches, and your players are people of pride. When people talk about tanking, isn't that almost disrespectful? You guys are going to compete every week to win. Isn't that talk almost disrespectful to you guys as professionals?
Yeah, it's human nature when you're not in the building doing the work like we do every day, right? Everybody's in this building. Most of the coaches was in this building at 5 or 6 o'clock this morning like we do every Monday. And, we're not in here picking our fingers and just hanging out, right? We're sitting out trying to figure a way to grind it out to the best of our ability with what we have. And our players are doing the exact same thing. So, yeah, you hear it, and I ain't gonna lie, I address it. If I hear it, but it's BS, and that's cool. But like I said, until we go out there and we prove it on the grass, people can keep talking about it. So that's what I told our coaches this morning, and when I get with the team, I'll tell them the same.
The Rams converted only 2 third downs yesterday.
Yeah.
You talked about some of the field position. Is that something where you think if we clean up the turnovers and really unleash this defense where the other team has to drive the entire field, like we can really start to see what this defense can be?
I think one of the bright spots for our defense this year has been third down. If you look at each and every game, we've been right there. I don't know where you are ranked in the National Football League, but I'm assuming in the top. We've done a good job of that. A lot of that goes into now, when you get them off the field on third down, that conversion into special teams, right? And we need to get more positive yards with our returners and get 10-plus yards so we give better field position for our offense. Because I said it before, we like to play that game full court defense, half court offense. And our defense does a good job. Patrick Graham and Rob Ryan, those guys that come up with the third down and short yards report do a really good job of being detailed and dialed in. And our players really stood out yesterday on doing that, especially in short yardage.
If Gardner is the quarterback moving forward based off whatever happens with Aiden, how do you stop him from allowing 1 turnover to turn into 2, into 4? Like, how does he get out of his own head?
Yeah, I think you said it best, right? He got to get out of his own head. He's a quarterback. He's been in this league. He understands it. Obviously, we've encouraged him. Very positive on the sideline with everything that was going on yesterday. Our team, no blinking. That's all you kept hearing on the sideline. Deal with adversity. And I thought our defense did a good job of responding, even on the sudden change they did score. But throughout the game, we kept fighting. Even at the end of the game, when we had a chance to get another stop, we did give offense the ball again with less than 2 minutes to see if we can go ahead and for the win.
That was good.
Cool. Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
All right,